Hey everybody, my name is Daniel, and what if we recast the Avengers with older actors? Shout out to my friend Stefani Vermaak, who came up with this idea, or inspired this idea for me. We were talking on Twitter, and suddenly this started boiling in my head, so right now I thought I would present my idea to you. I'm just gonna do the core 6 Avengers, and I'm gonna start from the easiest to decide to the hardest. So, easiest Avenger to decide for is Hawkeye. Hawkeye, originally played by Jeremy Renner. As soon as I saw a younger picture of Harvey Keitel, I just knew it. I mean, look at them! They look cut from the same cloth! So on top of that, I'm thinking of Harvey Keitel in Taxi Driver, and thinking about how he just kind of commands his presence through those New York streets. And if you read the Matt Fraction comics, Hawkeye is in the city, Hawkeye is down and dirty, Hawkeye is a little goofy, he's charming with like a little drop of suave, but he's also kind of a goofball, and I definitely think Harvey Keitel can play all of this stuff in his sleep. Plus, can't you imagine just him slinging a kind of old school bow and arrow and just doing trick shots? I don't know, it just seems to me like the perfect fit for like an old school rough and tumble Avenger. Next up for me is Bruce Banner, the Hulk, and for me, it's Jeremy Irons. I think Stefani pitched Jeremy Irons for somebody else, I don't remember off the top of my head, but to me, if I'm just looking at the glasses, I'm looking at the smart guy, Jeremy Irons fits all of this stuff to a T. We also tend to forget, I think with the inclusion of his new image as Alfred in Dawn of Justice, Jeremy Irons is a nut. Jeremy Irons has range for decades. This is the guy who is Scar, who is like slimy, but he's also really goofy in Dungeons and Dragons. So I definitely think he could kind of embrace maybe more like, I'm too old for this, Danny Glover type approach to the Hulk. And I don't know, maybe he could find some notes in there that we've never seen before, really kind of take that wild character all the way as far as it can go. And I think it'd be a ton of fun. Next up for me is Black Widow, and when I thought of this, I was thinking, who is a spy? Like in real life, who would I believe is a spy? Jessica Lange. Commanding presence for one, but she can also play it back, play it smooth and kind of like bide in the shadows, so to speak. I really love the style, I love the kind of force that she brings to something like this, and when I look at Jessica Lange, I think she could, know all the trade secrets of every government in the world. It would be an interesting approach because I think we might be doing less acrobatics and more of like traditional spy work and sneaking around, and that might be really fun to take Black Widow into that less sort of acrobatic direction. After that, we got Thor, and bear with me here. Because this guy is not Australian, this guy doesn't have an accent, but to me, Endgame cemented it, it's the dude. It's Jeff Bridges. Extraordinary range. And if you know him just as the guy from Big Lebowski, or just as the guy from Hell or High Water, you're missing a huge berth of stuff that he's done over the years. And yeah, Jeff Bridges, I think, could nail that sort of gruff exterior that he needs to be intimidating. We forget Jeff Bridges could bulk up. Jeff Bridges could be a leading man, a suave hero. He definitely was back in the day, but I think if he bulks up a little bit more, you could definitely get an intimidating dude who can swing a hammer and an axe. But a guy that can crack like a billion beers and have a bunch of jokes and a laugh with you. He's definitely the most jovial of the people that I've cast for this, and I definitely think Jeff Bridges would just find a way to maybe give old King Thor a really cool look. This next one is going to be for Captain America, and I know this guy's already in the MCU, but I don't care. It's, to me, America's boy. As soon as I saw him, I knew Robert Redford. A-caliber actor. When I look at him, I see America, I see a superhero, I see this sort of clean-cut guy, and just, as an older Cap, as a guy who's maybe, you know, just putting on the shield again, maybe taking out some bad guys. I could definitely see Redford doing it. He's already established in the MCU, but multiverses, I don't care. Likely this entire series would be a what if episode anyway. But yeah, Robert Redford, just because when I look at him, I think America. And the last one, you know who it is, Iron Man. To think of somebody who would replace Robert Downey Jr. almost seems impossible. And this one is a very weird choice, but I kind of want to see what happens with it. Al Pacino. Yes, I know. Hooah! Yeah, we're gonna have this guy flying around in an iron suit. But Al Pacino's, again, fantastic actor, huge range, has different shades of him. If he could bring maybe I don't know, like a darker Iron Man. I'm thinking of his turn in The Godfather, how quiet he was throughout that. And I'm thinking, what if we got an Iron Man who was able to kind of like schmooze it up with everybody, but in his personal life was so quiet and so reserved, almost like a more Batman type of character. And I was thinking, okay, well maybe that could work. And it's also easy for Al because he's in the suit, he's flying stuff around. So what if we had an Iron Man that was really in the throes of alcoholism, really needed somebody to kind of wake him up and shake him out of this existential crisis that comes with being a superhero dealing with galactic level threats for 50 years. Again, you never know what would happen, and we might get a more faithful version of that darker side of Tony Stark, and I think Al Pacino has more than enough of an ability to pull all those things together. So, that is your lineup of core Avengers. Let me know what your cast is in the comments below. Let me know if I'm completely off base or if I nailed it on the head, and just, I don't know. I feel like we're doing a bunch of Fantastic Four and X-Men fan casts. I wanted to toss something in that was maybe a little weirder. But if you liked what you saw here and you want to keep hanging out with me, talking about movies, subscribe to the channel. Right now, it's time for you to choose your own adventure between one of these videos. Here you got my review for the Peanut Butter Falcon, an end of summer movie I loved. And on this side, you've got my review for Ready or Not, which is a movie I didn't. So, you've got a decision to make, choose your own adventure, and I'll see you next time.